Hello.
Hello.
What up?
Hey.
I was about to say morning. And then open a beer.
What's going on?
How often do we do that?
Not
Hey.
alcoholic.
Maybe
Not a download just yet.
Check. 1, 2. Right, let's do it.
It's definitely beer.
That's lovely.
Yeah. Hi everyone again. Last week was While She Sleeps. And that was probably about it.
Yeah.
No, what else do we have? I can't remember. Again, I haven't got any notes.
We didn't even get to our topic because
No,
we
we
were
didn't.
talking about why she sleeps so much.
Yeah, and then we hit like 2 hours.
And we had a lot of news on Ivan Moody.
Ivan Moody.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Lots of bits and bobs about Paris. And we had our game was on Industrial,
Industrial, yeah.
Yeah. which was interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I'm over it now. Cutting down my industrial hole.
PTSD set in.
It was just a phase.
I really enjoyed the game last week.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Talking of the game, we didn't pick a genre last week on air anyway.
Yeah, because we're clearly not that organised.
We've done the same again.
We have rookie mistake.
Oh.
We haven't picked one for next week either.
It'll be a surprise again.
It will be.
That's fine. Yeah.
So anyway, we've gone for Djent.
Djent.
How do you say it?
Djent.
Djent.
Pick up a pancake.
Judging by the look on Lee's face,
He didn't like this game.
He hasn't seen the video, has he?
No,
Did
I've
you not?
not had time.
I'll put a link in the.
Pick up a pancake.
Yeah.
For God's sake, Risky.
It's as if
The shit is happening here.
It's Djent. Yeah, today we'll speak a little bit about Letlive, Korn, Ozzy Osbourne, Bullet for the Valentine, and a bit more on Paris. Quite a few new listeners again. CKY, Wage War, Bad Wolves. Stone Sour's got 2 songs come out.
Greedy bastards.
Yay.
Real quick one from Municipal Waste. Fallout Boy's Mess. And a little bit on Motionless In White. And this time we are going to go through our topic of beefs. Beefs, bad blood within bands, within genres.
Band rivalry and scene rivalry, yeah.
Yeah, and then we got our game of Djent.
Bugga.
And I've got an all killer. Just about.
Cool.
What an organised
Alright,
mess this
so
is.
We've got a good episode coming up.
Yeah.
Haven't we?
I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
We've always got a good episode.
We
Yeah, we just talk shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Don't we?
nice and happy note then. Anyone? Well, I think everyone heard about Letlive. Yeah, I'm pretty bummed out about this. Just as I was going on and on about them the other week, saying how much I love them. Yeah, Letlive have decided to call it a day, and quite a lengthy post it was as well.
I did read the post.
Yeah.
It was fairly lengthy. I was surprised by it more than anything because they didn't seem like, they were going to be going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, pretty prolific, pretty hard-working band. Yeah. Well, I don't really know how to sum this one up. I'm just gutted, really. I mean, as I said before we started recording, their first 3 albums are just trash. In my opinion, I think most of their fans really came on board after Fake History. From then onwards, they've put out 3 solid albums, 3 crap albums. But yeah, in the statement they said there was a divergence in views as developed within the camp, which basically just means they all kind of want to go in different directions. I guess that's what I took from it anyway. So
I was surprised to hear this, or them splitting up. I wasn't aware they were around for so long.
yeah,
Since 2002.
15 years.
I had no idea they were that old.
Yeah.
I thought they were a new band.
I think they were pretty
like-
undiscovered for the first 3 records.
Yeah.
So that was it. Yeah,
By the sounds of it, I can see why from what you're saying.
that's ass. It's pure ass. Bin it off. Don't bother with it. I do want to go back and listen to them and check that I'm not being really ignorant. But no, in those 3 albums, bands that they've done, they've put out some really special music. They're quite a unique band, and with such a hardcore following as well. Especially Jason as a front man. Like, I don't really know what's going to happen, where he's going to go, what he's going to do, but he's such an enthusiastic, passionate bloke. And to be honest with you, I could kind of see in this statement after the album that they've just put out, I can kind of see that maybe these tensions might have been going on before this album came out, because it was like their version of saying, all right, we've got this really unique mesh of things that everyone loves, this whole soul punk thing that they describe it as, which is just like hardcore punk with screamy bits, you know, funky bits, all sorts of just shit thrown together. And then their last album, they decided to try and go a bit more commercial and just kind of water it down a little bit. And it was still cool. It was still like political. It was still kind of like confrontational. But it just, for me anyway, I remember that album coming out, and there's only about, I could skip half the album.
Really?
And that's coming off two really, really, like, both of those albums are all killers for me.
Okay.
Like, really solid. So, but yeah, they're one of, I think, the most unique bands to come out of that scene. So in America. So I'm absolutely good about it.
Yeah, well, good luck to them in whatever
Yeah.
they choose to pursue, I suppose.
I'm sure they will pursue something. I mean, like,
I'm sure we'll be seeing him again.
I'm not the hugest fan of him, but they're all really talented. They're all really good at what they do. It would be a shame for them to not do something with that.
You owe it to yourself to listen to even the one I was just talking a little bit of shit on. Just the last three albums, like, to really dive into them and see like the nuggets that are in there, and like the interviews and the documentaries and stuff, because they're they're quite special. And even that last album, the sort of making of behind the scenes, you can really feel that when you watch it. It's quite cool. But they haven't announced any like farewell shows or anything, which is quite
so
surprising.
this is just, it's done now.
Yeah, just saying we've split up and that's it.
Fuck.
But I would have thought they'd have, I mean, they've got such a hardcore fan base, I would have thought that they'll do something. So,
You'd hope so for
Yeah.
for those guys, yeah.
yeah.
Because I read a lot of the comments on the Facebook post, and a lot of people were really bummed out by
Yeah.
it.
That's
There's
what I'm
lot
saying,
of
it's a very
there's lot of
hardcore fan
upset.
base.
Yeah, there's a lot of upset in there and stuff. And after 15 years, you'd think they would do something to sign off,
Yeah.
like a headline run or some hometown shows or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But to just call it quits out of the blue and say, nah, that's it, we're done.
And those tickets would go straight away as well.
Yeah.
Because I saw them once at Nottingham and it was really special. It was just, I still got a photo somewhere of the singer sort of, he managed to walk his way round to the bar and climb onto like the rafters or like the balcony bit and like just jumped, like typical crazy frontman shit. But that was a really powerful show, so one of them I won't forget.
Well,
Anyway.
I'm sure we'll see him again in some form anyway.
Do a little cry. You guys carry on for that.
While you cry, we'll talk about Korn.
Korn, yes, have cancelled a run of dates in France due to... You're crying about Korn?
Nah, fuck that.
Unforeseen circumstances. Now, we don't know if it's related to the bassist issue or not. No one knows. No one knows what's going on there.
I reckon Ty, the 12-year-old bassist, is beating up Fieldy. I reckon that's...
Is that what you got your money on?
Yeah, I reckon that there's like that they're like trying to push him out.
I reckon it's the other way round.
Yeah,
They beat him up.
bit of child abuse.
That's what my
Oh, how casually we just dropped that into conversation. Shit.
Locked him in the bass drum.
Boy. Have we got no other information about one?
No, that is all the information that
And
anybody
How
has.
many,
right now.
how many dates did they cancel?
It was like the
Yeah.
whole headline
The rest of the tour.
over, which is strange because they're really smashing it in South America at the moment. Some of the footage looks really good, and some of the
Really good footage. Like,
some of the live footage.
they're on form.
Yeah, they're really on form. So for them to cancel it, I don't know.
Midway.
Yeah, midway seems really strange.
Oh.
Unless there are issues with Ty, him going over to Europe, I don't see why there would be, but could be related.
We just don't know.
We just don't know.
It's-
We don't know at
I'm
this
sure
point.
we'll find out next week.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all we have on that one.
Oh, okay. Ozzy Osbourne
Yep.
and Zakk Wylde are teaming up again.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, they are. They've got
Yeah.
4 dates announced: late July and early August.
How old is Ozzy Osbourne now?
Old.
Ooh.
104.
At least.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Just because I was guessing that was why Black Sabbath were throwing in the towel. You know, I thought it was just due to the old age and just we're creaking now. We can't really bend over properly and limber up before shows. You know.
When was the last time he was able to bend over?
He is constantly bent over, isn't he? Sharon!
He's nearly on all 4s, isn't he?
I actually think his best stuff though was his solo stuff that he did
with
Zakk Wylde.
Yeah.
So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what they're gonna come out with.
Because it was called Ozzy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they do anything after
Was that all
he
the?
left it?
Was that the Crazy Train stuff? Or the albums of Crazy Train?
I don't know. Not without looking.
Not sure. Not too well educated.
It was better than Sabbath.
Yeah. But not as good as Black Label.
No.
Yeah, that's a good analysis,
Mm.
actually. Yeah, I've always got time
Midway.
for Zakk Wylde though. I fucking love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do love Zakk Wylde.
Almost as much as he loves his pinch harmonics.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, that'd be good. I'll be interested to see the footage of that, see what comes out there. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
But they go way back anyway, don't they?
Yeah.
They've been on and off basically their entire career, I think.
This is going to put to bed those Zakk Wylde rejoining Pantera rumours. Tributing Pantera and doing like a.
I don't think
Dimebags.
anything will ever
Yeah, it will never
put those
happen.
rumours to bed.
No.
Like
I don't think
forever.
I don't think Zakk has ever felt comfortable in filling those shoes. I think he just wants to.
I don't
leave
think
a legacy
anybody
for
would
it.
feel comfortable.
I think if anyone could, it would be Zakk, but I think he just thinks, just leave it. Leave it with what it is.
How good would it be though?
It
It'd
would.
be cool.
I'd go see it.
I would. I don't care how much it would
You
cost.
should leave it, but I'll definitely go and see
Yeah,
it.
like, I don't think it should happen, but if they announce it, I'm there.
Yeah.
Okay, but about
Makes
all
perfect sense.
all agree on that one, don't we? Right, Bullet for My Valentine have announced Live from Brixton Academy Part 2, which obviously is a follow-up to their Poison live DVD from, I don't know what year that was, a long time ago.
That would have been.
It's about a good decade ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2006, I'm saying.
Yeah, it would be around then.
So Part 2 is, first DVD is just like a normal set of all of their new-ish stuff, I guess, Venom era. And then Night 2 is the Poison in full, which was done in December at some point. So I did see some YouTube footage of that gig actually. It had lots of fire and shit, so
Okay.
pretty decent production.
Anyone going to buy it?
Nah. I'll probably...
Just YouTube it.
yeah, it'll be on YouTube eventually.
Just stream it.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
We support bands.
Killswitch.
Killswitch? What about them?
Support bands, did you say?
No, I said we support bands.
Oh, we support.
Supporting
Yeah,
them.
I'm sure
sorry.
Killswitch do support bands. Or they support Adam D going and getting a beer.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have liked to go to that gig, but it was the full album.
Yeah, so I'm with you on that. I prefer to hear just a mixture of Bullet songs.
Yeah, because
Instead of-
the album they were touring was wicked.
Yeah.
So good, yeah.
Yeah,
And
very much,
the
yeah.
new singles from Bullet as well.
Yeah.
They've been really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. If a little bit, bring me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't Need You.
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
one
that
of them. And there's another really old school sounding.
Oh, is there? Oh, that's the only one
Um,
I know of at the minute.
those two.
Ah.
Yeah, and it's just
I'll find
good as well. Yeah.
So I would have loved to have gone and seen them play the Poison Fire.
Yeah,
I
the
think
Poison
there
is
is a
really
part of me, well, like, I don't think 16-year-old me would ever let me forgive myself if I didn't.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, but then
Yeah.
I think I did see him on the Poison tour back in the day anyway, and it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was that with As I Lay Dying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we were all there. Yeah,
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
ago. Yeah,
Mm.
and I remember, and they mostly played stuff like that because that's all the material that they had at that point. I think they did a Metallica cover as well.
They did Creeping Death.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Protest the Hero.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Test the Hero,
yeah.
As I Lay Dying.
Yeah, brilliant.
Bullet.
Was I there?
No, I don't think you were.
Marcus was there.
I think I remember Creeping Death.
Because they did the tour with Aiden, Still Remains.
That was the Kerrang tour,
Kerrang
wasn't
tour.
it?
Which is just like emo as fuck.
Still Remains. That was.
I must have been at that as well. But I remember, I think you're
Hawthorne
right.
Heights.
Hawthorne Heights, that's it. Oh, God.
How
What a band.
fucking I'm glad that
Legendary.
scene died a very, very quick death.
Right then, so yeah, so everyone's kind of interested in that. But
Yeah.
I'm interested in
I'd watch
Bullet
it.
again. Like that's the bottom line. I'm back on board with Bullet and what they're doing now.
Okay.
So.
Did they get rid of the bassist?
Yes, they did.
And
Really?
That's when
Jay?
Things, that's
Yeah.
when things started to get a bit better.
Yeah.
Strange.
But they replaced him with a bassist that I think he screams as well and sounds
Yeah.
very much like Jay, and looks a little bit
Looks
him
like
as
Jay
well.
as well.
Yeah, it really threw me off. Yeah, I do
You
remember.
sure he left?
Yeah. They cloned him.
A better version.
Yeah, that looks like a
Robo J.
It's like the iPhone 9.
Just replaced him with the iPhone 9.
Just they
J
update
plus.
it every few years. This one comes without a charging port. Anyway, onwards. Last week I spoke about PVRIS, or as some noobs might call it, PVRIS. PVRIS. Yeah, I sort of had the little rant about, not rant, but the whole deleting all your social media bits and
Yeah,
bobs.
that very predictable.
Yeah.
Model.
It was very predictable. I think it was 2 days later they announced their new album, which is called All We Know of Heaven, All We Need of Hell. Reminds me of a Bring Me the Horizon album name a little bit.
Bring Me, just like you're all out there fucking ripping us off.
Yeah,
one way or another.
you crack it on. And they've put out a new song as well called Heaven, which is pretty cool. Did you guys go and check them out at all?
No.
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 Sorry.
Alright. Okay. I'll do this one solo. I'll go solo then. Yeah, album's out on August the 4th.
Sorry, man.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's quite atmospheric. It's still dark like their early album. It's got some nice groovy bass lines in there, so it's nice to see a little bit more sort of dance to it, I guess, because they're quite a serious band with their image. Everything's
Okay.
very black and white, very
Yeah.
moody. Everything's just drenched in reverb, which I like
Yeah.
in that context. To be fair, so yeah, I'm excited for that album. Yeah, that's it on PVRIS. See,
Okay.
is it just me with Don Bronco?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on your own again.
Cool. All right, Don Bronco, Don Broccoli. Tom Doyle, the bassist, he is getting married this week, and he's decided to live stream his wedding on the band's website, which is kind of like, bring your personal life out to everybody. I think that's kind of cool. Apparently he's basically said in a statement that a lot of his British friends can't afford to fly over there to get to the wedding, so
Fair enough.
fuck it, let's live stream it and invite all of our fan base along for it.
Cool.
And they've announced their only UK show of the year at Alexandra Palace in London in November, and I've got a pass to go review it, so I'm excited for that one.
Sweet.
That is cool.
I'm guessing they're only doing one show for the year. I'm gonna presume they're gonna be writing an album because it's been nearly 2 years now.
Okay.
But I'm all on board with Don Broco. I think they're
Yeah.
great.
I liked him.
I remember seeing them back at the Queen's Arms in King's Lynn years ago.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they were pretty cool back then, but this was going back 10
This
years.
keeps happening, doesn't it? We
Yeah.
talk about bands,
Yeah.
and then someone says, "Oh, they play King's Lynn."
Yeah.
Where
You'd
are
be
all these
surprised
gigs?
how often it happens.
Where are all these gigs happening?
What is it? Employed to Serve
Yeah,
played Lynn somewhere, and so did Loathe.
yeah.
Loathe, Young Guns, obviously Divavana from around here.
We Are the Ocean.
Load Atlantis, we played with them, Wiz
Load
Beach
Atlantis,
as well. Loads of bands, yeah.
We had Bring Me play at Bowling Green in Wisbeach.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Long.
It just goes back to what.
Shit then as well.
Fuck's sake.
We got busted for festival too, though.
Oh yeah, we've also had Atomic Kitten and the ever famous Rolf Harris.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, I will see you all in the pit for busting.
Yeah. This is the first year. This would have been the third year running that we're playing it, which I'm gutted that we're not, because it'd be great to say that we supported.
Add that to your CV.
Yeah, we supported Busted, because like we supported the Fratellis, which everyone was there for just the one song.
Well, that Chelsea.
Yeah,
Chelsea
yeah.
dagger. He hates that.
I hate that song, but it comes on and it's like,
Utter
go
shite.
on then.
Fuck off.
Right, new listens.
Yeah.
Crack on.
CKY.
Oof.
Now we heard this earlier. Well, we did. You've heard it a while ago. I quite liked it.
I enjoyed it.
Not bad.
Yeah. I didn't actually like it at all on Festus, and I was like, whoa. But
It
it's grown on
sounds
me.
like that riff. It sounds like every other song that CKY have ever written.
It sounds old school
Classic
CKY.
CKY
Yeah.
sound.
But it's just there's something really catchy about it.
I was thrown off by the weird synth organ
I
in
can't get over that thing.
Yeah.
You can't get over it.
So I can't get past it enough to fully embrace that song.
Yeah. But that was first listen, because I am.
It's quite drastic.
Yeah.
I'm not accepting it.
How did you feel about the whole vibe of it? I mean, it was recorded at Rancho de la Luna in some desert somewhere in America. It seems like they just took a bunch of shrooms and recorded.
That's
an
exactly
album.
what it seems like.
Yeah.
It is.
Just the
Yeah.
fucking neck in peyote.
Just tripping balls.
Tripping balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the sort of like country vibe in it.
Mhm.
I think that's what got me with it.
Mm.
What did we think of the mad as shit solo?
A bit forced.
A bit
I
tacked
think.
on.
Yeah, again, I think they took a lot of mushrooms and just went, you know what, this is going
Yeah.
to sound awesome. And just went mental and hit record.
So
Yeah,
that
which
was
is pretty much what we
Stick
did.
that there. Yeah.
just go nuts.
You know what would sound good? A podcast.
So that was Brent Hines of Mastodon,
Yes.
and
He can play like fuck.
yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was their first track in 8 years as well, so it's been a long time. In a statement, they've said that the song "Days of Self-Destruction" is about just sort of what I was talking about a few weeks ago with the whole band falling apart, and it's sort of like they just let it loose, and they've just sort of realised that now they need to, they're the strongest that they've ever been, you know, mentally as a band. And they're just embracing the whole music scene for what it is now, and they just seem like they're in a really positive place.
Okay. So this is without
Darren.
Yeah.
Who's now got his own project called 96 Bit of Beans.
So this isn't.
Brilliant, yeah.
This isn't a retaliation to what Darren's doing. It's not like.
I hope not.
No. It seems to me that they've both kind of come to the same conclusion at the same time. That, you know,
It
they
does
had a
seem-
great thing,
Yeah.
but they're not seeing eye to eye.
Okay.
And they're both just taking it. But Darren definitely seems from his, because he's been doing like Facebook live streams of their recording sessions and stuff.
Okay.
He's been talking about like responding to fans live, and they've been saying, you know, you're on speaking terms with the rest of CKY, and it seems to me that he's a little bit more bitter and kind of just like, you know, saying I am the main writer of that band, I'm the reason that it sounded that good, and I'm going to prove that with this new band.
Okay.
But then CKY put out this new track which sounds like just essentially like CKY.
Yeah.
They did also say that it was that they'd rather just scrap the last 2 albums that they put out, which I think Darren did most of the writing for. So it seems like beneath it there's a little bit of like,
That's awkward.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So you
the
just want that music to come out for the right reasons, not as
Yeah.
as a fuck you from that camp to that camp.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
you know,
yeah. I
because
think
it seems weird that they've both come out in 2017.
Yeah.
They've had nothing for ages, and then all
it's
of a sudden,
been 8 years.
Yeah.
So long ass time.
So they've had nothing for that long, and then all of a sudden both of them have got new material. It's like, it's a bit strange that it's all happened
yeah.
at the same time.
Well, I was, because I kind of, after I discovered all of this stuff that I was talking about a few weeks ago, I'm not sure what episode it was that we were talking about it, but it seems like whenever CKY announced that they were doing Warped Tour, 96 Bit of Beans, and Darren posted something like straight afterwards, and it was just like a bit of a like, like a dick size contest or something. I don't know. Yeah, the album is called The Phoenix, and it's out. I want to say in June. I've requested a copy for
June.
review, and I'm interviewing them next week at the Cambridge Junction.
Cool.
Okay.
So I don't really know. Like, give me ideas for questions, by the way, because I feel like I know what I want to ask, but I'm not sure
You could go.
whether I can go that route.
You
with
can
the
go
whole
one or
Darren
two
thing.
routes, like
Yeah.
the fanboy route or
Yeah.
the professional.
Well, I'm not going to go the how did the band form? Like, where does the
So
name
what
come
year did
from?
you
Route.
form?
Yeah, you know, it's.
What does CKY stand
Yeah,
for?
exactly. I think I'll probably
Kill yourself.
Yeah,
If you
can
ask them.
kill yourself. That's what it stands for. Can't kill yourself. So yeah, but overall pretty good reactions from all four of them.
Yeah, I'll definitely give it another listen. I mean, I know that when the album comes out, I'll give it a listen anyway. I love CKY.
Only 8 tracks apparently, so short album.
Long EP.
Whereas Darren Miller's got 20 tracks on his.
What?
Fuck's sake.
Fuck off.
Yeah, all that.
Apparently so. There's like a
1.5
double
minutes.
double disc edition and like
Jesus
fan bonuses. He's doing the whole like. you
So
know-
he's not just like, I'm going to release an album, I'm going to release the album.
Yeah.
All of the albums
gonna be
are
cool.
mine.
It's going to be called 96 Bitter Beings, the definitive CKY edition, or something like that,
The
or like a
best.
video game like bonus deluxe boner
Season
content.
pass.
Season pass. Yeah.
The best of.
Yeah.
Shadows Fall? What?
It's a terrible best of.
What's your
Unnecessary.
favourite
best
Shadows Fall album? I'd probably have to say
Best
the
of.
best of Shadows.
Was that their
That's
third
what you
album?
should say whenever anyone asks you what your favourite record
I'd have to say that.
is. Shall we, before we go
Fuck's
down a
sake.
terrible rabbit hole, shall we get into some metal?
Yeah.
Wage War.
Yeah, I was let down by this.
See, I wasn't surprised. What was
Okay,
going to come?
yeah. So what I've heard of Wage War
What was the-
so
what was the
far has
track
been
called, sorry?
It's called "Don't Let Me Fade Away."
Oh yeah.
Which ironically is exactly what they're going to do if
it's
everything
off-
continues to sound like this.
It's off the upcoming album Deadweight, which will be available August 4th.
Yep.
Yeah, just lacks, from my perspective, the usual aggression that I'm used to from Wage War. I seem to have heard a lot more of the heavier stuff. I didn't realise they were such a sort of
Whiny
more
band.
whiny metalcore. I didn't realise they had that element to them so much.
I discovered them a year and a half ago maybe,
Okay.
and like this track, 3/4 of the track is awesome. Like holy shit, who are these guys?
Yeah.
And then suddenly, out of nowhere, whiny,
Here we go.
whiny singing. Like, oh,
Yeah, in my notes
Brilliant.
I've got slight Architects rip-off with,
Yeah,
with,
I've got,
with Blair. Blair.
I've got
And then-
Architects
Blair.
Downfall vibe.
Yeah, and then I've got cringy chorus
yeah.
in my notes.
But did
So
you
that
not?
pretty much
Did you
sums it
not
up.
get incredibly generic breakdown? It's literally. Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun.
That it better not be something that is making its way back, like slower and slower breakdowns.
Bagabagum.
No, this is.
Bagabagum. Well,
Nah.
This is just.
We'll half time it. We'll quarter time it. We'll eighth time it. Dun.
That's the shit that pissed me off.
Dun.
Yeah,
That is heavy as fuck.
No. Stay away.
Yeah, just a massive letdown anyway.
Stay away.
From this track.
Well, they've put out a bunch of solid singles, so I'm guessing this is their,
Yeah.
you know, that this is them saying, "Hey, we've got choruses too."
Yeah.
That's probably what they're doing.
That's where I'm coming
Yeah.
from. The
Yeah.
singles so far have been really solid. I think the first track I heard from Wage War was The River.
Yeah.
Heavy as fuck.
I can't remember the track.
And then
well,
hearing
first.
this, like the chorus is literally really like all-time low or something like that. Like it's just really whiny.
Yeah.
Lacks
Yeah.
lacks something there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was expecting, really.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let's
Right.
talk about Bad Wolves then.
Yeah.
I was talking about this a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
You'd heard a small clip.
I heard a small cock teasing clip on Instagram of like melodic singing, and then into a.
It was a build up, wasn't it? And then it's cut off.
And then it cut off right before
the money shot.
Right before the money shot. Yeah, right before the money shot, and then and they bring it out. I think I called it just Learn last time we spoke about it. But it's
Learn to live.
Yeah.
Okay.
For anyone that doesn't know, it is a supergroup made up of ex-members of God Forbid, Devil Driver, Divine Heresy, Bury Your Dead.
I can't remember where the bassist was from.
No, neither can
I. No. But this isn't like.
Was it? Did you say?
Maybe. Might have been, yeah, actually.
I'll just
yeah,
Google.
What was I going to say?
Don't know.
Well, I really liked it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Very in line with today's topic, or
that's what
subgenre. It's very djenty in the verses, and it's got really nice sort of crisp vocals over it. Very kind of quick.
I forgot how much I loved that guy's voice.
Yeah. It was surprising. It was that Djenty.
Yeah. Yeah, and I thought the vocal harmonies in the chorus were great as well. Really strong singer. Is he the singer from what?
Divine Heresy.
Okay, cool. Yeah, good choice. Good bunch of guys to put together.
Bassist was in Vimic and In This Moment.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah.
Right. Okay.
But this isn't like a super group that they do a one-off.
These are an established.
This is a
so
band.
we can. Well,
Which was
hope to see them on tour.
In the works for quite a while, apparently.
Yeah, this is something that what's his name, drummer John Brocklin, something like that.
John Broccoli.
John Broccoli.
Don Broccoli.
Mr. Broccoli.
Don Broccoli.
So the drummer, Mr. Broccoli.
Yeah, he's been trying to put this band together for years.
Oh, yeah.
Probably part of the reason as to why he left Devil Driver. He wanted to put together a metal band that didn't just scream all the way through everything they did. And Bad Wolves as the result.
Yeah.
It does surprise me that a drummer would be that fussy about what vocals.
He's not even a huge fan of metal, though, is he?
He's
a massive
really
country
fan. Yeah.
He just thinks metal's more fun to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you get a lot of metalheads that say that, like in bands, particularly.
Yeah.
It's good to definitely have other sort of enjoyments and influences there.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to hear what they come out with next.
Yeah.
Saying that the drums on this track are fucking incredible.
Yes, they are.
Out of all of the like metal things we've been discovering, and it's been a great year so far, I think. But I think as far as like, straight up heavy metalcore, Djent, like all of those things put together, this is probably the best thing out of what I've heard so far.
Yeah.
Or one of the stronger releases.
Nice.
Above Wage War and Of Mice and Men, all the other stuff in
Yeah.
the last few weeks.
The Royal.
And the Royal as well, yeah. I think it's like up there.
Yeah. That's fair to say. Yeah.
Motionless In White. Who listened to their new track?
Not really, no. I'll sit this one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen to it. It's called Rats.
Yeah.
It's alright. I'm starting to like Motionless In White more and more every time I hear them. Like, it seems like the tracks they've released aren't as heavy as the other tracks I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to really like them.
The verses in Rats had a definite Manson vibe.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, have you seen him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, is
Yeah.
Manson.
I still don't get where you're coming from with the soil work thing.
Shut up. You do.
But the verses were very Manson. They were quite synthy.
Listen to 570.
Right.
That's where you'll hear the soil work,
Okay.
like sounding vocals.
I'll take your word for it. I will give it a listen. If I come back next week, I'm like, actually, guys, guess what? I really like Motionless In
Wearing a
White.
t-shirt.
Gothed up.
Do you know, I've always found them to be, they're not my cup of tea, my sort of thing. I do actually like the Manson vibes of some of the new stuff, actually. And I get where you're coming from. They're a band you don't really want to like. That might come from the whole image thing that we were discussing recently. I'm not sure, but this new track, it was kind of cool. It sounded like it would have been really good back in the day, like alongside that sort of Manson era. But my God, the fucking cliches on this thing, like in the verses, or it might be in the chorus, where they're just shouting love, hate, or whatever. And then there's like a bit where he's like, roses are red and my heart is black. And it's just like, oh god, I'm down in that dingy basement that we were talking about. Yeah. Like that's
Hades bar.
Yeah, it's just the kind of shit I expect.
Standing in piss.
Yeah, pretty much.
Smelling the bodies of the dead.
Yeah. You ever hear a track for the first time you can just smell the sweat?
Did you hear the other track, Loud?
I think so, yeah.
Loud, fuck it, I think it's called.
Right.
Yeah, that's quite, I like that one.
I did hear something recent. Was it like their most recent single?
Yeah.
I think I found myself enjoying it more than I wanted to.
Yeah.
So,
Very,
again, yeah.
Like cock rocky sort of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake, I'm going to have to actually give these a listen.
Well, their album is called, the new one's called Graveyard Shift, and it's it's out on Friday.
Yeah. So
there you go. Happy birthday. It's a treat. Liz looks at me with disgust. Right.
Speaking of making looks of disgust, I mean, I know I'm jumping the gun here, but I feel like I need something metal to talk about at the end of this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, good.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah. Fallout Boy.
Sounds like I've got in my notes here, and this is just what I've written down as an off-the-cuff remark. Sounds like a chipmunk being raped.
Off the cuff.
That's what popped into my head straight away.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Alright, we should mention the song is called Young and Menace, and the new album is called Mania. On September 15th it comes out. Right, well, to be fair, my reaction isn't far off. Do you know what though? Like I've who likes Fall Out Boy here? Early stuff.
Yeah.
No.
Alright, I think Infinity on High is a brilliant album. I think Folie à Deux is pretty good as well.
Those two.
Even from what's the Cork Tree, whatever the first one, whatever it's called, their breakout album. I even liked Save Rock and Roll to an extent. I thought there's some, even though they're going to like a
really
more pop,
punky back in the day.
They were
songs like Dead on Arrival, and like they had the real pop punky vibe.
I didn't mind them going a bit more poppy because a lot of this is the thing. Like over the last few weeks, we've been speaking about Linkin Park, Papa Roach, a lot of these bands. Even Paramore just dropped another single today as well, which is definitely the more straight up pop thing. A lot of these bands are doing this now. I didn't mind Fall Out Boy doing it at first with Save Rock and Roll, but that last album, American Psycho, was just awful for me. Like there was no guitars in it at all. But this was not. It's not even me trying to be like, ooh, like it's not metal, it's not rock and roll or whatever. It's just that the songs were just cringy. But this right here is the fucking. This is the pinnacle of fuckery. This is just pure shit. I'm sorry. It's just.
It's cancer.
Yeah, it really is. The chorus, like it eventually built in, inverted commas, builds up to this chorus thing, but it sounds like I can just picture like a trendy parkour advert or someone on a motorbike on like a perfume advert, something like really trendy on TV with like dubstep just all over it, and it just makes me want to vomit in my mouth.
Brand new Segway.
Yeah.
Can you imagine it being played on fucking High Energy at the Mart or something?
This like the chipmunk
on the waltzers,
thing.
or something.
So basically, the chorus is just like I don't even know what it is that he's saying, but they've just chopped and screwed with it, and it's all pitch shifted, and it's like
it's fucking awful.
It's to see that live is going to be pure backing track, and it's. In the video, you've got them all swinging their instruments around, but there's no guitar in the track at all.
That's what I was expecting building up to the chorus, like guitars. Nope, nothing.
Complete opposite.
Complete opposite.
It drops into
just the
this.
violation of a small woodland creature.
Yeah. There's nothing organic about it at all. It sounds like R2D2 having a seizure.
He's
so many analogies.
It sounds like Transformers, like having multiple orgasms.
I think they'd probably be having more fun than anyone will ever have listening to this song.
Yeah,
I'm actually struggling to put into words how much I hate it, and this is coming from a guy that really fucking laid in to Linkin Park.
The look on your face.
What, when you put it on?
I put it on, yeah.
So you agree with this is the pinnacle of fuckery? This is worse than Linkin Park's recent effort.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have to ban him
Yeah, I think we should.
after one song?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them.
If there's anything to go by recently, usually your first single is an indication of what an album's going to be like.
It's disappointing though.
Yeah, we've
that,
learned our
like,
lessons.
bands keep doing this.
Yeah.
Finding out you're adopted is disappointing. That was an abomination.
You were adopted.
Yeah, well, it
Now
makes
listen to
sense.
this.
Now listen to this.
This will make you feel better.
Here's the bleach.
Silver lining, at least you weren't adopted.
Honestly, it is just dire, and I'm done with it already. Let's move on.
Yeah, alright, Stone Sour.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Before he goes and plays with the traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stone Sour's got 2 songs out. I don't know which one came first. Was it song 3 that came first, or was it?
No, I think Fabulous came first.
Came out, yeah.
And then track number 3, and then they released, I think, the video for Fabulous.
Oh, okay.
Who watched the video for Fabulous?
Yes.
Amazing.
Wacky, waving, playable, arm, energy man. Wacky, waving, playable, arm, energy man. Wacky, waving, playable, arm, oh, fucked up. Oops. Had the whole thing ready, but... Where's Boff when I need him? He's really good at that. Yeah.
It was amazing. I couldn't help but chuckle watching that video. I was like, they're just having fun at what they're doing.
Yeah.
Those things always make me laugh.
Yeah.
And now they're in the Stone Sour video. That's fucking awesome.
I want a wacky, waving, inflatable, arm, flailing tube man. That's really hard to say.
He did well.
Yeah.
I really want one. Just chilling in my room.
Yeah.
It's
The
like,
fact that- the fact that
I might
they
be
were
adopted, but at least I've got a wacky, waving, inflatable, arm. Just that there.
they were in the crowd on the video,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then they switch it.
Yeah, they're
So
playing
then
instruments.
They're
yeah.
playing the instruments, which I think is,
There was a
is
couple
a
of-
really
I'm-
cool touch.
I can imagine like editing that video would have just been like pure joy. Like there's a couple of moments when like it actually looks like he's drumming and like playing the solo or whatever, and it's just like yes.
And they're like head banging.
I just what a great idea. Shall we talk about the music then?
Yeah.
4 grown men amused by the inflatable tube men.
No wacky waiting.
Oh,
yes.
fuck! Yeah, the music. Fabulous. Is it Fabulous? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Fabulous, that's it, yeah.
It's actually quite an angry song.
Yeah. It's got that 30, 31, 50 kind of vibe.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
solid,
like
more the solid Stone Sour.
I mean, like lyrically, it's quite a big fuck you.
It's quite aggressive, yeah. It's got an aggressive feel. He's got those. His heavier side of the voice, the screaming sort of side going on. I think in this track.
Is it just me, or do his vocals just get better and better with everything that he releases, whether it's Slipknot or Stone Sour?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if I agree with that on the heavier side.
Why?
No?
He's screaming or he's singing?
His screaming.
Yeah.
Well, there isn't a
I
lot
think
of screaming.
there's not too much. I think it was when Slipknot released the live album
Yeah.
during the era of subliminal verses. And his scream on that album.
Wasn't that something to do with his mask though?
I don't know.
I'm pretty
know
sure
what
I
it
read
was.
something that back then saying like the quality of his singing was diminished by his mask,
Oh right. Okay.
and then from then he's designed different masks.
Not to suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. I
You can
don't know.
imagine like Slipknot play their first show. We haven't thought this through, guys. He just gets on the stage, grabs the mic, and all you can hear is it.
It's like he's trying to shout the safe word.
This next song is called
So, what was your favourite out of the 2 tracks? Because song 3 was definitely a more traditional rocky sort of approach.
I preferred song 3. You know what put me off the Fabulous though is
Wacky, wait.
I know it might be a bit petty, but I'm not one for censorship or anything like that. But the swearing in it, and he goes, "Yeah, motherfucker."
Oh yeah, I found it cheesy.
It felt a bit.
Have you got old?
I don't know.
Actually, do you know what? It reminded me of like back in the day of just being at gigs, and we're edgy, man. We're swearing in our songs. It just felt a bit random. Like yeah, motherfucker.
I don't think it needed to be there.
Yeah,
but
That's
so
what it seems
much
like.
of their stuff
Doesn't
that
need
sort
to
of
be
shit
there.
in.
sorry.
But I am complaining.
You are
I
complaining.
am complaining. I just felt like in that.
Are you
in that
going to
song,
write a
I
letter
might-
of complaint?
I might do
To
actually.
whom it may concern.
That might be a stern
Well,
letter
get
going somewhere.
inside. That's a classic Stone Sour.
Yeah,
It's got a lot of motherfucker in it.
Yeah.
fine.
Fine,
It
okay.
goes with that song.
Right.
But I don't think it went very well with that song.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, that's my
that's
bit.
fair. I mean, I disagree, but I respect your opinion.
What's he singing
I don't
about?
care about your
Rock and
opinion.
roll.
It's noble,
isn't it?
whiskey. Very noble.
I don't know.
Why is it a big fuck you anyway?
He's
singing about he likes rock and roll.
Yeah, but go back and listen
Something
through
rock
to
and
it.
roll,
And
but I
he's,
like it.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it.
but it's
Yeah, motherfucker.
It's quite pleasant, actually.
there's bits in it about the media,
Okay.
and there's things about how there's I can't remember the line exactly, but it's about how it's just like you spread your legs.
okay.
Yeah.
Where's this
like,
going? Like my favourite porn star.
Yeah,
the
like you'll
fade.
have to go and listen. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but
I know what you're getting at there. Yeah. I know the line you're.
I can only
referring
remember
to.
it's all downhill from here. That bit.
That is a pretty cool bit.
Yeah.
All I can remember is
he's singing about that. He's just like yeah. So who
You
fucks
spread-
you the hardest?
Yeah, you spread your legs for fame or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
So it's about a whore. Or about the media being a whore.
Yeah,
Like,
You keep his mum out of this.
She listens to this.
Hey!
Well, I'd like to point out there are no cameras here. I could have been talking to any of you.
Sorry, mum.
Please like this.
I don't know if any
Shall I hear
mums.
this one?
If any mums do listen to this, then
Ding our bells.
you're all a bunch of milfs.
Say ding our bell.
So you do. You like it, isn't it?
I'd like to make a point about this.
Sorry. Fucking hell.
Anyway,
I'd like to make a point. I'm not that fussed on either of these songs. I thought song 3 was pretty catchy. I thought Fabulous was pretty alright. But can I just make a point that we've not mentioned the music at all? We've only mentioned Corey Taylor. Now, I personally think this might be an obvious one, or you can shoot me down, but I think if it wasn't for Corey Taylor being in the band, I think Stone Sour would be just another irrelevant metal band, personally. Because nothing really about what they do stands out to me. I think they're okay. God, I sound like such a angry old man, don't I?
No, it's a valid point.
But it's like, okay, cool, Corey Taylor's doing some stuff, let's go check it out.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm in two minds with that. I can see exactly where you're coming from, but there is a lot of their stuff that I genuinely really enjoy musically as well. I mean, it's very difficult to think who else would be doing vocals on something like that. But when you've got someone of a caliber like him, of course you're going to take notice of him. But I mean, you're looking at up until this album, they had Jim Root playing guitar.
Oh yeah, there's a big debate about that, wasn't there? They've got a new guitarist who's doing a solo on this track as well, isn't he? Yeah.
It's I don't know. I mean, I'm in two minds. I can see where you're coming from, but there is a lot of stuff that I really like. I mean, like 30, 30, 150.
Yeah.
It's really heavy. It's a really good, really catchy song.
Made of Scars. It's got a fucking awesome riff.
Idle Hands.
Yeah.
Mm.
We've all gone quiet.
Hey, mums. Right. So,
but yeah, the song 3-1. I think
I thought that was the better one.
I thought it was the
for
better
me
one.
personally.
A little bit cheesy, a little bit sort of emotional in a way. That softer sort of vibe going on.
It's nicely censored for Robsmith's pleasure.
I actually can't remember it too well. I just remember Fabulous with the wacky wavy for level. Yeah, that's how you stick into someone's memory. Right then, is that it for new lessons then?
yeah, we'll do a quick one with Municipal Waste.
Oh yeah,
because the song is really quick, less than 2 minutes.
Municipal Waste of Time. I haven't heard it.
It's 2 minutes of thrash.
Okay.
There you go.
It was alright. I heard it. It was good.
You can down a beer to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not me. I'm slow.
Sounds like a challenge.
Yeah. Challenge yourself to Municipal Waste.
What's the track called? Cool. Alright then. Cool. So lots of memorable stuff this week then.
No, I really can't remember.
Right.
I really can't remember.
Well, this week's topic we're going to talk about scene rivalry, band rivalry.
We're actually going to do it.
Yeah, we've got a good time.
Yeah.
We're doing
Yeah,
right.
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I can't see the screen, so I'll just, yeah, fuck yeah.
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 Motherfucker. Alright.
Stop it, you'll offend him.
Look.
Rob's leaving the room. Should we censor our own podcasts for Rob? Every time someone says cunt or fuck.
I have to put a beep in it.
Beep.
We do not need to censor
Just
anybody.
put some really obnoxious soundbite or like a sheep over it or something.
Every time you say fuck, just replace it with one of us shouting the word cunt.
That swear word felt really out of place. Alright, who wants to start?
Shall I then?
Go on then.
Alright, yeah, band rivalries and stuff like that. We was talking about of Mice and Men last week. This is about Austin Carlisle. Yeah, Carlisle.
Carl.
Officially,
Carl.
officially, he left the band on like good terms and whatever. Yeah. Other things suggest otherwise, because he was suffering with Marfan syndrome.
Oh, what's that?
It's something to do with like your stress levels, and it basically just shuts down your body.
Oh, okay.
Which I believe, and he was really struggling with that, which then led to the band having to be forced off tours and world tours and things like that. So they were getting pissed off with him, and then in the meantime, he seemed to have found either God or some
There he is.
other
Higher spiritual.
higher
That's
spiritual
how
thing, and that's what he
people
started to write about in his songs.
Mm-hmm.
Which is then when they said, no, you're not writing that.
Okay.
And that's when he said they were trying to silence my voice, is what he said.
Mm-hmm.
And the band weren't allowing him to write songs.
How oppressive.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I heard it was to do with. I thought he left due to depression or something like that. That's what I'd heard.
Yeah, he was in hospital for quite a while with this.
Yeah.
With this
He was really unwell.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't read up on the disease too much. Yeah, it just shuts down your body basically.
Okay. So where does the rivalry comes out of?
Out of him.
I think the original statement was that it was a mutual thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it quite clearly is not mutual at all. And it's now turned into quite a big thing between them.
Yeah, when I was trying to read up on this as well, and I came onto Metal Sucks, and they're a magazine or a online band thing. I kind of like, and I really hate them as well.
Yeah. They give you the news, but they piss you off with it.
Like, I was trying to read up on this because they seem to have quite a bit on it, and when I look through it, basically they hate Of Mice and Men.
Yeah.
Nothing
Just
good.
complete bias against it.
Yeah, nothing.
There's
nothing
nothing substance. Like,
Nothing good to say for Mice and Men. Basically said we don't really talk about Mice and Men because they don't give us enough publicity, and they're shit.
It's not a band's job to promote a media outlet.
No.
It's the other way round.
Yeah.
Metal Sucks don't get enough traffic from Mice and Men, so they don't report on them, and they're terrible. Is what
They
I
are
said.
very biased in.
Yeah, because I was when I did read about it, somehow this Austin Carr pissed off the guy from Attila, and the guy from Attila, Chris Fronzak.
Yeah, Franz. Yeah.
He put a tweet out when Of Mice and Men put their new single out. Tweeted that Austin guy and said, "Great job on the new song. You're my number one inspiration." So he's pissed him off at some point. But apparently this Austin guy is not a very nice person. Anyway, according to Metal Sucks.
These like inner band rivalries versus band against band rivalries. It's a hard thing to discuss because all you've really got, unless you're around the scene, like know them personally. Even what I was talking about earlier with the whole CKI situation a couple of weeks ago, it's like you're going off online forums and media outlets that could be biased against them due to like a personal experience or whatever, or hearing that someone's a bad person, blah blah blah. But it's really a tricky one to I guess.
It can fracture fan bases and stuff though. I mean, people are going to be biased over like one vocalist or another, and if you've got, say, your favourite band, they're just infighting and bitching at each other constantly between someone who you preferred being in the band and the band as they are now. You're always going to be at odds with the people that are just going, well, no, I'm siding with this or I'm siding with that. It's shit. It's shit for everyone involved.
What was the Slipknot and Slayer situation like years ago?
That was more with the fans. So they did a co-headline tour of the UK.
Yeah.
The whole issue is that they did the same tour in the US. Slayer were headlining all around the US, but when Volume 3 dropped, Slipknot just went absolutely huge. I mean, they were big here anyway, but Slayer obviously being a lot more established, I think the Slayer fan base felt that, or the UK Slayer fan base felt like Slayer should be headlining over Slipknot. But you're talking like at the time of Volume 3, Duality was just out, like Slipknot were just fucking massive.
Yeah,
and they decided to put Slipknot as the headliners, and apparently at some of the shows, I wasn't there myself, but I've heard stories, and there have been like rumours and stories just in passing that I've heard that it was Slayer fans running around the venue just randomly beating the fuck out of Slipknot fans. Serious stuff.
Taking off like studded metal belts and stuff like that, and spiked metal belts, and just smacking the shit out of
like just,
wearing a Slipknot t-shirt.
Yeah, but the thing is, I would be at that show for both, and I might happen to be wearing a Slayer shirt one night, or whatever I put on, or a Slipknot one, and I could be wearing a Slipknot shirt, and I fucking love Slayer. And some Slayer fan comes and like beats the shit out of me for wearing a Slipknot hoodie or whatever. It's not cool.
This goes back to the old Slayer from Middle Earth thing I was talking about a few weeks ago. Like they're like beasts. They just come out of nowhere and just barge people over. And
if anyone has ever seen a Slayer pit, they know that people are just fucking feral.
I've been in one.
Yeah, it's a terrifying experience.
It really is.
Do you see? I tagged you guys in a video earlier.
Yeah.
It's just like I see a Slayer fan. I'm just like Slayer.
But yeah,
it makes no sense to me because they're both so heavy. You'd think that they'd be in it for the same reason, but
yeah. And also, if Slayer were on first and you were that bothered about Slipknot, you would just watch them and then go home.
Yeah.
And because it was co-headline, they both had the same amount of set time anyway. So what does it matter what order they're in?
Yeah.
And they just seemed to have this bitter grudge against anyone that was there for Slipknot, and it was like the Slayer fans didn't view Slipknot as having a right to that headline spot, and therefore anybody getting on board with that was an enemy basically. And it's just so out of order, especially considering like the amount of shit that metal gets from the outside world. Infighting amongst your own sort of people,
bad,
metal fans should be sticking together, I feel, but this whole infighting thing, or especially that
was a big thing for a little while.
I think Metal Hammer reported on stuff, and it was definitely in the download forums. That's where I saw it. It was in the download forums. I read quite a few incidents where Slayer fans were attacking Slipknot fans.
Music on the whole should be, about, I find I love meeting people that are into different music from me at festivals, and it's just that whole communal spirit that we've spoke about a lot on this podcast and stuff. But you know, especially when you've got bands that are doing similar things. You know, I mentioned Red Hot Chili Peppers versus Faith No More. Obviously not metal bands, but within the rock scene, they both had like funk influences. And around the early 90s, there was sort of Anthony from the Chili's was like trading little jabs at the guy from Faith No More, and basically apparently like Chad Smith, the drummer, said that he's going to kidnap Patton and chop off his feet, so he had to force him to come up with his own style, which is like this was in like quoted in Kerrang in 1990 apparently or something like that, which is just hilarious. Like I think when you're so involved, like people get so passionate because it's like you're both doing something so similar. It's gonna, and when you're both revolutionary, like sort of innovating a certain sound, it's gonna become quite territorial, I guess.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
When you're trying to be that pioneer, and lead the way.
Yeah.
And you've got competition. It's like you're gonna want to be the top dog.
It's like we've talked about hip hop beefs as well. Like, I mean, 50 Cent, Ja Rule, Jay-Z versus Nas, and like people have ended up dying in these situations with like street warfare and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's like it's such a polarizing thing in the headlines. You wonder how much of it actually goes on in real life, and how much of it is just the media blowing a juicy story up. You know.
Yeah.
And I compare it to sort of like wrestling and the WWE and like the whole hip hop thing. It's like the sport is part of it. There's no
trash
way.
talk.
Yeah. And it's like there's no real like clean cut way of deciding who wins. It's all subjective. Like even award ceremonies, like you've won an award, but the other person's got better sales figures. Like if there is a battle there, who really wins? Do you know what I mean? Bless you.
Oh shit.
So
I know what you're saying,
and I kind of feel like I hadn't realised until looking into this. Like, you know, I always looked at metal as being quite a together community, but it seems that there's just as much
overall.
I think overall we stick together quite well and look after one another usually. Yeah, because of the amount of shit or the negativity that heavy metal receives, that does sort of make the community a bit stronger.
Do you think that's
on the whole, like us against the world type mentality? You know, it's like you know, we do tend to band together quite well. But there are these
mentality that's dying out though, because there's so many different subgenres and stuff, and you get so many people just being really elitist about what they listen to.
There's a bit of that, yeah.
I hope that's not something that's
it's a bit of a we're better than you because
we listen to this,
or we discovered this band first. Like there's that snobbery almost sometimes, which I can't fucking stand.
No, I fucking hate that.
Well, like, I want to keep my favourite band in my back pocket and no one else gets to discover them.
And it's like, no, just share that shit around. You know, it's fine.
Yeah.
I noticed it in the scene back 10 years ago, bands that would sort of come in and think they're all that and just be arrogant shits.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Fuck, I hated that.
At that sort of that low level. So I mean, God knows what it's like with the bigger bands, or maybe at that level they just grow out of it.
I've actually played with a lot of smaller bands that are like starting to get a bit of a sort of fan base that have that attitude, and then a lot of the bigger bands that I've met and spoke to, like I was talking about Loz from While She Sleeps last week, about how nice he is and how humble they often are. You know, I think like the more industry experience you get, the more you learn. You know, it's not all when you're first new to it. It might be like this glamorous idea, but there's 90% of it is all hard work and like behind the scenes bullshit that humbles you. You know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We're sort of sidetracking a bit here. As far as scenes go, I mean, like we were discussing like scenes that go against each other with like subgenres and stuff. Who was there? Because we went to download a lot over the years. But
2006, I think.
Were any of you there during the whole kill the emo chant?
Yeah. We accidentally helped start that mob.
Ironically, I was at the back of the the mob. If you want, it was a bit of a mob.
Yeah, with the flags. With your floppy hair.
And I had my floppy hair, and I'm at the back. Kill the emos. Yeah. Like
that.
Join the mob when you're a knob.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. Something like that.
I remember
this is like us wearing our ignorance on our fucking sleeve. Kill the like you're at a festival and you're going around trying to do like a fucking like warfare, like gang warfare or something.
Just like to make it clear, we didn't actually start this.
Yeah.
Right, like we didn't think that this was a great idea. We were approached by two men. One of them had a trumpet. So we were walking.
Fanfare.
Yeah, so we were walking around with these two guys and a trumpet, and then before you knew it, like all these other people started joining.
10, 20, 40.
Yeah, and before you know it, you've got like well over 100 people walking around, and someone starts up a chant of "Kill the emos." I remember somebody asking some emo guy for a lighter, and he was like, "I don't smoke," and he was like, "Emu, give me the lighter."
Fucking hell.
It was just like, yeah, that was mad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
a
before
mad
the security, just like before the sort of switch over, and there was like, I don't want to say riots, but riot vans.
Well, you can call it a riot because there
Yeah.
were riot vans and police dogs and
Yeah.
fires. So
Yeah, there were fires because there was always campfires at the festivals back then, but people were throwing gas canisters into the fires, and you could see it was epic. It was something out of like Armageddon. At the end. Like,
An ice cream truck.
ice cream
An ice cream
vans
truck
being
got
set fire to.
set alight. It got pushed over and set on fire.
Yeah.
Wheelie bin set on fire. Rolled down the.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I know
People like playing tribal drums on like upturned bins, and people
I went
like
on
just
for
grabbing
hours.
handfuls of ash from round these massive fires and just like putting like tribal warfare paint all over
Just
themselves and
turns into fucking
dancing
animals.
around. Honestly, it's like everyone went fucking rabid.
Well, I was.
You slept through
I
it.
slept
You
through
didn't
it.
even believe there was a riot until you got up the next morning.
Yeah, I said no, there's not. Go back to
Lighting
sleep.
poles.
There's a riot. No, there's not.
I just love that we have these memories because if you go there now, I remember I went to like the next year or something, and you go as a lad, you go for a freedom piss up against the fence because you can't fuck queuing for those skanky toilets that are never they're cleaned out like twice a day back then or whatever.
Or if you're me, you go for a freedom piss, and when you're done, you turn around, everyone claps you because actually there's a load of toilets behind you that have just been cleaned and there's no queue.
Hey, so
We're just pissing his tent.
you go for your
yeah, thank you for that. But
and you get dragged off by some security guard.
I remember that.
Security guard, inverted commas, it's just like dragging you by your scruff. That is just a chav that is there for like,
Community
I heard there was a
service.
riot here last year. Do you want to go get in on some fucking dirty grebs and go beat him up or whatever? Some dude grabs me and like he's like, I've just seen you like throw your beer over there. I'm gonna beat you up or some shit. And I was just like, whoa. Steady on there, boy.
Didn't you shake that light
yeah,
pole?
you shook
that
that
was
light
it.
pole
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
was
yeah,
it?
yeah.
And
I didn't throw a beer. I was shaking the fucking pole. But it wasn't going to fall over. It was like the whole pole that went along the whole, lighting up the whole arena.
And you were joking anyway.
Yeah. I wasn't actually trying to like, but I guess because this was fresh off the riot.
Shut that shit down.
Did I have smeared body paint all over it?
from the previous year.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll never get anything like that there now. No way.
No, because Guns N' Roses hopefully will never play again.
They were the cause of that riot.
They should just put on Slayer and supported by Slayer.
Forever.
Forever. And just imagine what shit will go down.
Infinite Slayer.
And then just put on like Hawthorne Heights as the opening, so it's just like the ultimate like War of the Worlds.
You say that. I remember back in 2007 when we were waiting for Machine Head to come on, weren't we, Rob? And we stood at the front of the main stage all day, and Bowling for Soup were on. And there's nothing quite like turning around and seeing all of these really big Slayer fans waiting for Slayer to come on after Machine Head, with their hands in the air, singing along to "I'm Gay." That was insane. And there was that Slayer fan that caught the drumstick from 30 Seconds to Mars. And that little emo girl jumped on him and bit him.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. She got crazy when she started throwing stuff in.
Yeah, that was insane. That was insane.
Jesus. Any more beef? I've got one. There's Slayer again.
Oh, yeah.
This whole thing, it's been going back years, back to Machine Head's, I think, Supercharger album. Kerry King called out Rob Flynn.
Was it Supercharger or was it the Burning Red?
It might have been, what was the more new metal one?
Supercharged, yeah.
Supercharged.
Burning Red, yeah.
Yeah, Burning Red.
I can't remember which one in particular. Kerry King calls out Rob Flynn for basically being responsible for a genre of music which, well, yeah, he just really doesn't like. He's blaming Rob Flynn for new metal.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah.
Which is weird because Slayer even delved into that with Diabolus and Musica a little bit. But
yeah,
he called out Rob Flynn very publicly and
he
tried to shame him for writing terrible music and spawning this, you know. And if you're going to pick on anyone, I think like really Rob Flynn, like, is he the go-to guy for new metal? Like,
I think at the time they might have looked at him like, if this is Kerry King we're talking about here, who as I said the other week was saying he wanted to quit music because of new metal, because of Limp Bizkit, you know.
Yeah,
it's just like,
okay, we get it. He doesn't.
It's
like
a very
it.
petty.
Yeah.
But upon looking like and researching into this, I haven't really seen much of a response from Rob Flynn. He's sort of kept quite quiet. So I don't know if it's really, you can call it beef. It's more Kerry King just calling out Rob Flynn, and I suppose he's just gone and let the music do the talking.
Yeah.
Essentially, by writing one of the albums of the century.
Well, that's what it should be about. I mean, I don't understand if what is there to beef about? It's often going to be on tours of, you know, personal matters between each other, rather than, oh, I don't like your music. You know, it's just, it's an interesting topic because, like I say, there's only so much we can really know about it. Really, obviously talking about. I don't know whether this is relevant or not. Maybe a bit of a heavy topic to get into, but on the topic of Rob Flynn and Phil Anselmo.
Yeah. Well, we were meant to go there, weren't we? Before we sort of skipped over it.
Yeah.
In the whole politics issue.
Yeah.
Or episode. So, yeah, now's probably as good a time as ever.
Okay, so it was Dime Bash, which was the annual is it annual that they do it? Like a festival for Dimebag?
Mm-hmm.
Was it I think it was either last year or the year before. I want to say it might have been 2015.
I think it was.
Yeah. Which at the end of the and they I think they do it around the time that Dimebag died, which is in November. And they get a bunch of bands to play, and they all do tributes, play Pantera songs and whatnot.
Yeah. And
Phil was performing, and he was backstage, and came out and did like the final song with Rob Flynn playing. And then did a Nazi salute at the end of it and start shouting white power.
White power.
And in today's age, someone's filming it goes straight onto YouTube, and everyone's like, okay, this guy is actually a racist after like all of the claims over the years.
So he tried to palm it off as a joke about white wine, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we'd all been drinking white wine backstage.
It was an in-joke between mates.
It was.
And you had to be there to understand it. And you know.
So Rob Flynn makes this really long, detailed account of the situation, which you can quite easily find on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it, and what was your reaction when you first?
I think I put a really long post on Facebook about it actually. I remember saying that I think it's about time that somebody called Phil out on his bullshit, because you can only live off of your legacy for so long. It doesn't make you untouchable.
Yeah. You
can be an asshole all you want and people will shrug it off, but when you come out on stage and you start throwing your hand up in the air and shouting white power, you need to be called out on that shit, whether it be by the fans or by your peers. And in this case, luckily, it was by both.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just by a musician, it was by someone as big as Rob Flynn, and these are two musicians that they're never going to work together anymore now.
So that now has become a massive thing, hasn't it? Like
he's come out and said he'll never do a Pantera cover live again. They've covered, I think, fucking Hostile.
Yeah, it's tarnished his love of
Pantera.
Yeah,
which is the question we sort of posed in the politics issue, where we said, does an artist's political views influence whether you like a band? Has it, right, for example, or I'm going to pose the question now, like, has it made you less fond of Pantera now?
I was in two minds. Like, my initial reaction was like, okay, I've seen little bits about this. At first I had my suspicions about him due to like watching the old home videos and stuff they used to put out.
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, it's not a complete shock. I know that those guys, they used to always, not saying that having a redneck flag as your backdrop means that you're a racist.
You mean like the Confederate?
Yeah.
Confederate flag.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. But obviously, it's the whole sort of redneck sort of vibe, isn't it? I think at first I was like, yeah, fuck that. But then it's like, as I said, this is the band that got me into metal. You know, there's 3 other guys in that band.
Yeah.
And they all contribute to making great music. And, with something like that, I think I can still listen to it. It puts like a little asterisk above his name. It makes me go, ooh, okay, that guy is a bit dodgy. But as I say, there's always so many different sides to it. And I've started looking into Phil's side of it. And I don't, personally, from what I've seen, I don't actually believe that he is a racist. I think I could go out there and say a bunch of stupid shit when I'm drunk. I mean, I personally wouldn't, because I'm not a fucking idiot. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm hateful, I'm anti-Semitic or whatever.
Yeah.
I just think he's a bit of an idiot. I just think he's a bit stupid when he's drunk. And you see the way that he speaks. He's an ex-drug addict, like really badly, nearly died from it. He's a slob of a man at this point. I mean, he's still an icon. He's still a talented legend.
But you don't get the likes of Nikki Sixx walking out on stage and shouting out Zeke Kyle.
True. Now, I don't know whether it was a genuine in-joke or not, or what caused that to happen. But I just think that in his head, he was just being ridiculous. I don't think he actually thinks that he's a white supremacist. From like seeing other interviews and seeing him working for charities and supporting black communities and things like that, which there is evidence out there, I don't see why that would be all for show when he's secretly actually just going to just randomly say on stage, if you were a racist and you wanted to shout white power on stage, you would then stand by it and then actually become one of these people, and then actually preach your message if you did dislike.
I mean, lyrically, if you scan through Pantera lyrics over the last however many albums they've done, there is not, I don't think, one reference to anything racist in there whatsoever.
No.
So
he talks about self-empowerment a lot, but not necessarily to do with like races.
But apparently, when he was performing,
Are you going back years ago when he did speech?
No, there's a song that Pantera have, something power.
Beige power.
No, but he mouths, instead of the lyric, I can't remember what it is. It's gonna bug me. But he mouths white power.
Right.
New level.
New level. Right. Okay.
Of power, and then he'll echo white power.
Right.
Like afterwards. Which
that's supposed to be.
So he'll hold the mic out to the crowd and be like, white power. Like, and apparently he's been doing that for years, and people are like, what the fuck's he doing? Like, so there's all these little things that kind of point towards him being like a racist, and
it's hard to make a solid opinion on it.
Being from where he is, like the deep south, and stuff.
What are you gonna say, Rob?
At that show, on a radio interview, he was saying he was being heckled by people there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When, that was the other side. Yeah.
Yeah, saying like shouting at him, "You're a racist." And what he said was he gave those 2 people what they wanted.
That's what I saw as well. I forgot about
that. He gave them what they wanted, and they're having to be filmed. Which is, again, he must be stupid enough to think that this isn't going to be filmed.
Yeah. So these 2 idiots are there from the start. They're shouting, "You're a racist," at Phil, and then he decides to just fuck it. You know what?
Yeah.
Just give. Yeah. I think that's that as well. Yeah.
I think this has tarnished the rest of his career, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Mate, I
don't think it has.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think it has.
I honestly, since then, he's not really done anything noteworthy. Like he's gone back to Superjoint.
Phil and the what's it called? He's got his own little project.
The Illegals.
Yeah, the Illegals. Yeah. Which is really I wasn't a fan of it.
No, it's just he's not really done anything. Worth noting. Like to me, it just seems like people are keeping away from him for a little while. I mean,
he's going to pull back a little bit after that.
Yeah, he's not keep your head down for a little while.
No, I mean, as a fan, like you're going to appreciate it as well. You're going to pull, like.
I mean, it's not changed how I feel about listening to Pantera.
No.
Like, it just, that was then, this is now. It, for me personally, it has made me look at what he's doing now and be like, is this really something I want to be listening to? Just because fuck knows what the man's going to come out with next.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a mess. He is a fucking mess.
Yeah. He's a really, and it's funny because there's a lot of there's an interview with him which was around the Great Southern Trendkill era. After that, when he like nearly died and whatnot, like after his drug overdoses, he talks in great depth, and he's a great storyteller, both as a lyricist and just the way that he speaks. And he goes into a lot of depth about how it was being a heroin addict and how he nearly died. And I think he's a really inspirational bloke but he just tarnishes himself with a lot of just kind of bad qualities as well, and just being outspoken in the wrong way. But he just seems to be such a great dude and just a mess at the same time.
Yeah.
And he just tiptoes around that line.
There is that fine line of rock stars being that sort of. That's what's they've got that controversial element about them.
You hear, and it's funny. You hear people like, "Oh, I've heard he's a I've met him. I've heard he's a lovely guy." And then you hear other people saying, "Oh, well, I heard that he wouldn't take photos of fans and shit like that." And it's just there's always like two sides to it. And I just think fame has never really sat well with him too well.
Yeah. But I'm glad he got called out on it. If it was genuine, fair play to Rob Flynn for standing up and shutting any potential sort of racism in the metal community down. I think that was fair play to, for Rob Flynn, could have just ignored it, not put his neck on the line, and just kept himself to himself and got on with it. But
he absolutely went all out and
stood up to who, because he thought Phil was a bully essentially, and stood up to him and called him out on it. And
well, he is quite a dominant character, isn't he? He's known as being quite a sort of, it's very macho, like lyrically, and as a vocalist, it's very. I can imagine him being like a bit of a force to be reckoned with, to be around. The loudest voice and always kind of like
the alpha.
Bulleting people down. But to be fair, like it's rightly called out as well, especially in the metal community where it's not a black dominated culture at all anyway. It's not like, and I think there is a lack of diversity in the metal community, not for any particular reason, but it's apparent. There is a lack of culture it's largely a white genre to a degree. So to then see someone say that, it makes it even more ridiculous, doesn't it? But then apparently he was saying a lot of nasty stuff about the rap metal era of Machine Head, which I won't repeat on here, but go watch the video.
Was that the counter video from Phil? You saying?
No, Phil points it out as how he refers to like the N-word. He says the N-word era of Machine Head. He says stuff like that.
Oh, so Phil was in on it as well. With Kerry King.
Yeah.
It's all coming together now. It's all starting to make sense. Okay.
Many layers to this.
That took quite a serious turn, didn't it?
Yeah, we said we'll get back onto that.
Well, we did, and I think with Metal Beef, that one's a fucking pretty huge one.
I don't think it's fair to just brush over that one.
No, it isn't something that you can just
gloss over.
Briefly mention, shrug off.
I remember at the time it really blew up on social media. I was in New Zealand at the time, and I was like, fucking hell. It shocked me.
I to go back to your original question, I looked at my Pantera CDs and I just kind of went, oh, I don't know if I can. And then I just heard like some of the riffs, and I was like, oh, go on then. This is Dimebag we're talking about, man.
On a note of deceased legendary guitarist, it's 4 years to the day yesterday since Jeff Hanneman, considering we talk about Slayer a lot in this episode. 4 years since Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah, that's shit.
Death by a fucking spider bite.
What, in Australia?
Yeah, I think it was.
Really?
Yeah.
It just fucking decayed him.
A flesh-eating fucking poison got into his bloodstream. Well, it was like a flesh-eating by the.
Just rotted him away, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think it was his hand, and he was like losing like skin cells by the day.
Oh.
It was just fucking eating away at him.
Oh, so
Why do you want to be in Australia?
I don't.
that's
ever.
so metal.
Yeah, it's so fucking metal.
It's so metal.
So fucking metal.
Just whilst we're on the lovely topic of death, I wanted to just mention last week we talked about 18 Visions, and I briefly mentioned the bassist dying. Turns out I was right. He did die. I don't know specifically how or why, but I went and watched the video, and there was a nice little nod. They had the opening shot. I didn't notice it the first time. They've just got like a bass lent against a bass cab, and then the band are playing the two guitarists. And there's no bassist in the video, so I don't know who's playing bass. And then at the end, it cuts back to it, and it just shows like his old bass against it. So it's like a nice little tribute.
Okay.
So, but they hadn't done anything for like 8 years anyway. So they had split up, and then he died. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, just because I mentioned it briefly, we wasn't sure
Yeah.
that was actually the case. So, just a nice little, touch of respect.
Yeah. Nice little tribute.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Any other beefs, or shall we move on?
I don't like you.
You're gonna make me cry. All right, then we'll move on then.
Yeah.
So the game. This time we picked Djent.
Again.
Yeah, if you don't know what the game is, the game.
Banana.
Sorry, that one got me.
What banana?
Yeah.
Banana.
The game, we pick a subgenre within metal, and we try and find a band we like that we haven't found.
Yep, an undiscovered gem, hopefully.
Yeah.
Some weeks are harder than others.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this week.
Last week was
Yeah.
hilarious. They've mostly been pretty hilarious, actually, haven't they? Yeah.
Yeah, thrash was cool.
Yeah.
Black metal
Yeah.
was hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So, how do we feel about Djent then?
Quite positive.
Yeah, I actually liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah.
You can see the deathcore crossover.
Yes, I found
Definitely.
a lot of deathcore.
Yeah, from the deathcore game we did
Yeah.
way back when. You
Yeah.
can definitely tell.
I found a
The
lot of
crossover
gent
from that.
bands, say with the current album that's very genty,
Yeah.
and then going back in their back catalogue, they were just originally a death metal band.
Yeah.
That have just evolved into gent.
There is a lot of weird shit out there, though.
Yeah.
There really is, and there's a lot of just purely instrumental gent as well.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, I think it's a lot of musicianship. That's just a lot of catchy bands.
Did you come across the Ted Danza music extravaganza?
I've heard of.
Yeah, that was pretty good, but a bit weird as well.
What's that all about?
It was just an instrumental, like there'd be like these 6-7 minutes instrumental fucking Djent. Djent. How do you say it?
Djent.
I think it's just Djent.
Just Djent.
Yeah.
Silent.
Gentlemen.
The D silent.
Yeah.
I think it would be very remiss of us to at least not mention the Doom soundtrack.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Which I'm
nearly-
currently playing. Yeah.
I nearly decided to cheat. I was just
what?
going to be like, I'm using the Doom soundtrack.
But that
Which-
is damn good.
I want to say it was played on like a 9-string guitar or something stupid.
I don't know. It's just mad though when you've got your headphones on, volume turned up, and you're shooting bitches in the face and having that blast at you.
That is
Yeah.
cool.
Yep. As a little backstory for my experience with Djent, I think I sort of first got put onto it around sort of 2009. There's a band called Fell Silent. I don't know if you've heard of them.
No.
But this was like I was in a band at the time, and we sort of played a lot of bands around Peterborough, and I saw them there. And the guitarist and frontman from Fell Silent, I think, then started Monuments, who are now one of the bigger bands of that era. And they had a track called A Mess from their album The Hidden Words, which we all just fell in love with. And it's really like quite a distinct sound, isn't it? Like, 7/8 strings, lots of just 001s. It's like that's where the name comes from. It's that really choppy kind of. And at first, it was the coolest shit ever. I remember Periphery with Icarus Lives. That was such a groovy, cool sounding song.
Yeah.
and that kind of then spurred me onto like a lot of the tech metal stuff, a lot of the bands like on Basic Records, like the Risha Accord, Sky Harbour, Aliases and Sixth and stuff like that, and then like Tech Fest obviously. So like there's a big crossover between Djent and tech metal.
Okay.
But around that time I found that Djent, it was like, right, you've got pretty much a breakdown for a whole song, 001s on the guitar, and then you've just got some eerie, clean, really high pitched, clean, drony guitars underneath it, and often some melodic singing. So it's quite a contrast, but I felt personally that Djent lived and died so quickly for me. Like I was just, oh, this is a cool sound, and then it was just, I was sick of it straight away.
Oh, okay.
So it's quite nice to come back and have a look at some bands that are around now.
Yeah.
Because I've not given a fuck about Djent for a while. So
I do hear it more often than not now. Like Any Given Day.
Yeah.
Within the Ruins.
Yes.
Yeah, their new album was really good. Yeah.
Their latest album.
Yeah.
Can't think of the title, but
I like little touches of it. Like if you've heard Cancer by Architects.
Yes.
On the previous album, there's a little riff in there that's just super Djent-y.
Yeah,
and it just fits really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So success so far.
Yeah, success.
Yeah, I was a bit in the dark about Djent. I didn't really know fully what it was, to be honest. And now I'm realising it sort of has infiltrated a lot more bands than I really realised.
Yeah.
It's like that Bad Wolves track. That is.
Yeah.
Meshuggah as well. I thought they were just sort of a straight up metal band, but now
They're sort of the pioneers.
Yeah. So yeah,
Right.
good. All good stuff.
Well, Fisher, do you want to go first?
Yeah, why not? Let's do
Sure.
this. My band were Veil of Maya from Chicago, formed in 2004. Bit of a good back catalogue again. My track is Punisher from the album Eclipse back in 2010. Now going back with these, this was like classic deathcore, death metal.
Yeah.
And again, they've evolved into a bit more of a Djent-y sort of band. Latest album, Matriarch, 2015. I'm not really sure what they're up to at the moment, but yeah, decent.
Yeah.
Really good, solid stuff. Yeah, let's hear the track.
All they have is just brown out,
We're gonna have a what? Brown.
I don't fucking know.
Some random news clip sound or something.
It just sounded funny. But yeah, some heavy as fuck stuff. Like some really nice breakdowns in there, and yeah, just really.
I did have a look at these before finding my pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good. I liked it.
Yeah, no, they're cool. Really cool band. So
I've heard a lot of them over the years. I haven't checked them out in a while, but they're one of the sort of more.
They're a band
successful.
I've heard of a
okay.
fair bit, but never really given
Yeah,
time
no,
of day. if I'm honest.
never heard of them until before last night, really. So
There you go.
yeah, good.
Yeah. Who wants to go next?
Oh fuck it, I'll go. why not?
Okay, you can go next. Where are you? All right, who you got?
I went with a band called Volumes, who I've never heard of before.
We'll say what?
Yeah, what he said. I've never heard of them before. I didn't actually come across them until this morning. With
So well versed.
yeah. I've actually given their first album a listen throughout the day today, and it's really fucking good. And if I'd have had the time, I probably would have picked a clip from that album. However, I decided to go with a clip from the new song that they've just released called Left for Dead, because it is heavy as shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to hear some?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That it is really fucking heavy. From what I've heard of their older stuff, their older stuff is a lot more djenty,
Right.
for lack of a better way of putting it. But yeah, I heard that and was like, I think I need to give these more of a listen. They're really fucking good. They are. Like I said, you're enjoying that, Fisher.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just got a sleepy one over there.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about volumes, but haven't heard them in a while, so I'm gonna go and check that out. That was really fucking cool.
I'd never come across them before.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Shall I go next?
Yeah.
All right. My pick are called From Sorrow to Serenity. Yeah, I did find these from going through your pick, Fisher.
Oh, related artists.
Yeah. They're from Glasgow. I couldn't really find much on them. They didn't on their website. They didn't really have much about them. Yeah, but they're from Glasgow. I don't know when they were formed. They said they're signed to From Sorrow to Serenity Records, so I don't know if they're
Just a DIY.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going DIY with it or what.
Bit of plagiarism with the name there.
Yeah. They got an album out called Remnant of Humanity, which is what my clip's from. And the clip's called Elusive, and I'll give you it now.
Awesome.
Yeah, those atmospheric guitars in the background is sort of like such a stamp of Djent, isn't it?
I've listened to this album quite a few times now. It is really fucking good. Really good album. They got a brand new song out called Golden Age. Previously, they've been handpicked from or by Fit for an Autopsy to play with them.
Okay.
For tour. Yeah, they are now touring the UK. Yeah, I couldn't really find much else about them. Apart from that's a really good fucking album.
Yeah, I do find with some Djent that it's really hard to just nod your head along. Like the time signatures seem to be a bit all over the place, which is cool.
Yeah.
But maybe a bit unconventional.
Yeah, that's that whole tech metal crossover thing I was talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, I tried to find something like Djenty but a little bit more melodic because as I said, it's just for my own benefit really. I kind of get a bit fed up of just the same. You know, if you go on YouTube and you look at like top Djent bands, you're just gonna get a montage of a whole bunch of stuff. It sounds very similar a lot of the time. So my band, I found it is they're quite a new band. Started in 2014, called As a Conceit, and they had an EP out called Ebb and Flow in 2014. And then they've put out their first full-length album at the end of last year called Frown Upon Us. Yeah, and this song is called Boneheads.
It Djents.
It Djents, and it also metalcores,
Yeah.
and it also ever so slightly sings in the screams. That was A+ fucking English there. Yeah, no, they're quite a young band, so it seems. And I can just there's just loads of architects all over that, like with the atmosphere that's behind it. Yeah, I'm really digging it. I actually ended up listening to most of their album as well, so. It's quite cool that we've all gone away and found bands that we actually have checked out a full record to. So great success, I think.
I like this one. Yeah,
I liked it. I was a fan.
It went well.
It Djents.
It Gents. Do you reckon we should try and pick another one? Anyone got anything in mind?
Prog rock.
He said it. He said it, hasn't he?
He said prog.
Don't swear at me.
And if we're gonna go down that route,
Are you gonna go? Actually, wait. Prog rock or prog metal?
I prefer prog metal.
yeah, prog
Yeah.
metal.
All right,
Prog
cool.
metal.
I mean,
Okay, which means ruling out Dream
Between-
Theater.
Between the Buried and Me.
Opeth.
Yeah.
Who else is there?
We'll start with them.
Yeah.
We'll start with them and we'll pick some
Or
more.
would you include, like, so say, Coheed?
Yeah, I mean they're sort of more prog rock. I'd say they're definitely a more of a poppy rock band, aren't
Yeah,
they?
but we've all
But
heard.
what a fucking band!
I know.
But we've all heard of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was gonna
yeah,
say
yeah.
that's why they exclude them.
Right, so prog metal for next week.
Prog metal.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Excellent.
I don't have the time for this. I don't.
30-second clips. by the way.
Mastodon, put that in there.
Are we going to have
Yeah.
to extend the 30-second clip to a bit
Up to
longer?
5 minutes.
Well, 5 minutes out of a 20-minute song, yeah.
To hear the moment of progression. Okay. Yeah.
I would
Just choose a chorus. It's fine.
I'd include Mastodon
Yeah.
as well.
Okay.
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 Cool. Prog metal.
Fuck's sake.
We might as well get it out of the way at some
Yeah.
point.
I fucking love me some prog. So.
Oh, I don't. I'm not patient enough, ultimately. I'm just... Maybe this...
Yeah, this will be
Thing
nice.
would-
I can't wait to see what he comes back with. Genuinely looking forward to
Oh,
this.
yeah, okay.
Just get lost in the flow of it, man. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just go on a journey.
Do you even prog, bro?
Yeah.
Go on a journey.
I'm going to get myself a 10-bag of weed and I'm going to sit there with my headphones and delve into some prog.
Just a nice
I
little
think that's
set.
the only way I'm going to enjoy it.
Do what you gotta do.
Go on a journey. Like you're a fucking hobbit.
Here to Middle Earth to find prog metal.
Oh, this is gonna
Fisher
be.
doesn't make it to next week's episode. Yeah.
Alright, All Killer. Last week we had Hollow Crown by Architects.
Who listened to Hollow Crown?
Yes,
I did.
I did.
Who wants to go first?
You can go first.
Be me.
Go on.
Yeah.
I still think it's a fucking awful album.
Oh,
I really do.
really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to agree with Leesk as well.
Honestly,
Fucking hell.
I hated that album the first time I listened to it, and I gave it a fair try because I thought maybe I'm just being biased, maybe I'm still going on my old opinions. Nah, I didn't enjoy myself at all.
Okay.
There was just nothing memorable for me. I'm sorry because you were so passionate about this album.
Yep.
And I sat there and the best bit of it was when it finished. There are going to be a lot of people out there. I say a lot of people. How many fucking people even listen to this?
Right, alright, okay. Last week I went off and had the whole shitting on a snare analogy. But I ended up coming back with some things that I found, alright, I tell you what, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
Alright.
I find it hard to believe there was nothing that you enjoyed on that record at all.
Early Grave.
Actually, no.
It's
Okay,
not
I will
awesome.
go. I will go with you on that.
That's an awesome song.
Not numbers count for nothing.
I don't even know which
No,
track
That
that was.
pinch out,
like.
that pinch out my leg.
Nah,
Fuck,
Early
do you not
Grave,
just want a
yes,
headbang
I
for
will
that?
allow Early
No.
Grave because actually
Early
when that
Grave
was
is
on, I
good.
did think maybe I could have been wrong.
Yeah.
And then that
I
second
listened-
track came on, I was like, I'm bored.
I listened to it a few times. And,
Really?
And I think that's why I just forgot about him to this new album.
Mm.
But
Okay.
Early Grave's really good. The rest of it.
Early Graves, the opener.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
So it's just all downhill from there. for
It's
you.
all
all downhill from here.
Motherfucker.
His ears are bleeding. I'll tell you what, I'm glad that I went back and gave it another listen though, because
Yes, just in case
Yeah,
I
I-
missed out on something.
I would not have been happy with myself if I'd have just come back and gone, I've not bothered because
Yeah.
I think it's shit.
Yeah.
I thought I'd go back, just give it a fair go.
Could you appreciate at least the level of craft for 20-year-olds on and technicality on that record?
Don't get me wrong. I can understand why people enjoy it.
Yeah.
I can appreciate what they've put into it and what they can do as individuals. But yeah, I'm sorry, man.
That's right. That's cool. It's not my album.
Yeah.
Fisher liked it. There we go.
Yeah, loved it back then. Loved it now.
But yeah, you like the new stuff.
Yeah, really like the new stuff.
I've only listened to that album once.
Now
What
you've just
dots?
got to discover the in between from Hollow Crown.
Yeah, listen to Lost Forever, Lost Together. Do yourself a favour. Listen to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be up your street.
Yeah.
Right then, I'll go to All Our Gods and work backwards.
Yeah. Alright. Cool. My All Killer.
Which I put a lot of thought into.
I was completely unprepared for. Which I'm going to pick American Head Charge and The Feeding.
Oh.
See, on the way here we said it was going to be the War of Art.
Oh, no, I like The Feeding better. Again, with the other All Killers we've had, more of a personal experience of why we love that album. They were the first band I went to see live, which then gives me the memories from that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who it was with Soil. Do you remember that gig in Cambridge?
The Junction.
Yeah.
Good gig.
Yeah. Very industrial, very new metal, and they've been through a lot of hard times. Really.
You could say that.
Yeah. Mostly fueled by drugs.
Had a couple of wobbles.
A little bit of wobbles. They had a band member die.
Yeah, you could call that a wobble.
I put them off a bit. But yeah, start to finish, fucking amazing. Sign off with Loyalty. I can't really remember. Christian Scrub is up there. Can't really remember the track list on it, but yeah, it's an album I fucking love.
It is
Really
incredible.
Seamless?
No, that's not
What?
a war, but
Fuck it now.
Easy, mate.
yeah. What else we got? Loyalty, Pledge Allegiance.
Yeah.
Dirty's got a dirty riff
dirty
in
riff.
that. Yeah. Ridicule is probably one of my favourite tracks on that album. Take What I've Taken, Leave Me Alone, and Walk Away. Those three tracks are quite eerie.
Yeah, they are.
Eerie industrial.
I'd say they're
new metal.
more like the industrial side of it.
Then you got songs like Cowards, which are real thrashy.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes back down to like, To Be Me and Downstream, which are
Downstream's on there, isn't it?
Yeah, real mellow, chilled out sort of tracks. It's a fucking amazing album, I feel.
Okay.
That's a fucking great choice. I think actually that's probably a better choice than the War of Art.
Yeah, I think
because this is such a
No,
complex album.
I don't think so.
No?
But the War of Art was what got me into Head Charge.
I mean,
songs
it's got
like-
Just So
that
You
was a
Know
lot.
on it.
That was a lot more
Just so you know, Seamless.
more dysfunctional. Say like in the feeling it's more structured, more
Okay. Yeah.
more verse chorus sort of thing.
Yeah.
I've not listened to this band at all.
Ever?
At all.
You must have heard, just so you know.
I probably have. I'm sure there'll be a couple of tracks that I recognise, but I honestly in my head I can't remember what this band sounds like.
Yeah.
So I'm interested and excited just to check it
You're
out. Yeah.
in for a treat, I think.
Yeah?
Actually.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
Weird thing on
There's certain bands you just completely it's not like I wrote them off or didn't like them. I just think they just slipped me by just completely. Yeah.
I
big,
big,
like
like
them.
big new metal industrial stuff. Really fucking good. Cool. They had the new album Tango Umbrella, which was really good. But it was just something weird. There was something weird about it.
Well, the
His
EP
singing.
was alright as well, wasn't it? Was it called Shoot?
Yeah.
I had Sugars of Sunday on it.
I need to hear those.
He's still one of my favourite vocalists.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
So good live.
Yeah.
Really, really good to watch live.
They were amazing at the Junction.
We saw.
They weren't even headlining.
No.
What was it we saw? Met Lounge, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was like 30 people there.
Yeah. That was a lot an older crowd, weren't it?
Yeah. But then I saw footage of them when they played in London. It was sold out.
Yeah, which was weird.
Mm.
Yeah, that was weird to see him like just hanging around.
Yeah.
Like my favourite band in the world. And
They're just chilling.
Yeah, he's
having a shave.
Having a shave. Just sitting on the sofa having a beer. Yeah, it was.
Having a shave on the sofa?
No, not having a shave on the sofa. He was having a shave in
right.
the toilets.
And Robsmith went for a piss.
Oh,
And came back.
It's like the level of the lack of respect.
No, I went for a piss. I'm standing there. This guy like, oh, he's shaving. Oh, it's a singer. Like, and then
what, in the Met Lounge
Yeah.
toilets? It's like the tiniest toilet
yeah,
ever.
and then so he's like, hey, I don't really get to shave on the bus. And
You're like, right,
hi.
mate. You missed a bit.
They're my favourite band in the world. But,
I bumped into Keith Buckley in the toilet. I was pissing next to him. I was like, oh, hey man, nice dick. I didn't say that. But I sort of like, he was just there and I was like, went to like shake his hand. I was like, oh, probably wash hands first.
yeah, we met at the junction as well briefly, didn't we? Because they were doing a sign in afterwards.
Yeah.
I still got the
ticket.
I still got the signed ticket.
It's the really colourful ticket, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, they did Tango Umbrella after like 6 or 7 years from this one, I think it was.
Well,
yeah,
it took so long for them
more. I
to
reckon
come
it's
back
about 10
together.
years. About 10 years it was, and they finally got everyone back together after being in rehab. They got everyone back together.
It was just a case of they just really liked their drugs, wasn't it? Like none of them were interested in getting back together purely because they were happy with all of the drugs.
Yeah, they're very drug fueled band, and it's well documented that they are. But yeah, they all got back together for this Tango Umbrella, or another GoFundMe.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
It's like they can come to your house and play for like $10,000.
Yeah, didn't they have a thing where for a certain amount you could go to Vegas?
Yeah.
And like go on a night out with them, and like they play a couple of songs for you beforehand. Yeah. And this wasn't long before your wedding, was it?
I messaged him saying, I just need $10,000. Go party with American Head Charge.
So see what I can do, Rob.
Oh, another thing, that album's not on Spotify.
What?
Yeah, strange.
Well then.
Favourite track? Did you say?
Ridicule.
Ridicule.
Probably, yeah.
Good choice.
Ridicule's my favourite track on there.
Okay.
Yeah, Tango Umbrella, what I was saying. Yeah, got everyone together, and then all of a sudden the drummer didn't want to do anything anymore. He got ill again. Probably
he was like proper hospitalised ill.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
yeah, not the drugs, Fisher.
Yeah.
But people were slating them, weren't they? They ended up having to put a picture up online of him in hospital so that people would just back off a bit.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, because they were like, oh, same old shit.
Yeah, same old American Hair Charge. But yeah, then he went on tour again after a few days. He went, no, called it quits.
Really?
Split the band up again.
So that's it for now. Until
Probably ever.
Probably ever. I remember reading something not too long ago actually. Like they're saying that they're working on writing some new stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they lost their guitarist, like, because the drummer over Facebook quit.
Yeah.
And then the day after, the guitarist quit over Facebook.
Yeah.
And then
that was
the singer.
That was a bit of a beef as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were just slagging each other off.
The singer
over
Cameron
Facebook.
went on Facebook saying like it's completely unprofessional. Like, well, his first post, you fucking dicks. We spend so much time and effort trying to get everyone back together, and then you go fucking do this over fucking Facebook.
Yeah, and then that came down quite quickly.
Yeah, and then that disappeared and went, actually, they parted ways. But yeah, the American Head Charge defeated.
Good fucking choice.
Cool.
Homework.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've listened to it.
You would have heard off of that album. You would have heard Loyalty probably, and off of the War of Art.
Or
you
all
would have
wrapped
heard,
up.
just so you know.
Yeah, all wrapped up was on the last album, but you probably would have heard that one.
Yeah. Well, it's really weird for a band like none of their songs to just go, like it's just completely not in my memory. So.
If you're in any metal club on a night out, generally, just so you know, tends to come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually. It's quite a famous one.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, good choice, man.
All right.
Cool. Look forward to it.
I think who's next week's?
Back to you, Liz.
Leesky? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I've got a couple to pick from.
All right. Cool. That's it then.
All
Well,
right,
just gonna end it there.
Oh yeah.
are we?
Well, when this song ends, I haven't got any other music, so we're gonna end it there.
That's a great song.
Well,
as well.
thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah.
It's
Thank
been
you
a good
very
Yeah,
one.
I've
much.
enjoyed it. This
Thanks.
has been funny.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks very much.
Cool.
We'll
See
see
ya.
you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.